Hey everyone, it's me, RB Kelly, your body language boss, and I'm sitting here. I'm not exactly sure where I am, but if this looks familiar, go ahead and comment. Tell me where I am. I know where I am, I just don't know what it's called. But I wanted to talk to you today about awkwardness. Now, last night I was invited to speak at Surf and Sea up in Haleiwa, and they wanted me to talk about customer service, how to greet customers, dealing with sales, and I covered all of that. But what I noticed the audience was most interested in was how to deal with awkwardness. So I don't know about you, but I remember feeling awkward all the time when I grew up. My parents actually thought I was autistic because I was so awkward at talking to people. I struggled so much in finding what to say, how to say it. And I think I had it worse than most people, but awkwardness is a universal issue. I think we've all had conversations where we're not sure what to say, we're not sure what to do, we're not sure how people are going to react. And that's something you see in sales, that's something you see in networking, that's something you see in high school, that's something you see when you're trying to ask someone out on a date, job interviews, meeting new people, anything you do. There's always going to be situations of awkwardness. And awkwardness, I think what it really comes down to is uncertainty. When you're feeling awkward because you're not sure what they're thinking. You're not sure what to say next. You're not sure what to do. And when it comes to sales, awkwardness is often you're not sure if it's okay to ask for the sale. You're not sure how to say what you want. You're not sure how they're feeling or how they're going to react. So awkwardness, it really comes down to uncertainty and not knowing what to do. Now, when you feel awkward, often it's kind of paralyzing. You don't know what to do, you're afraid to make it worse, so you end up not doing anything. And you can see this in a sales conversation, or even when you're networking, and you want to take someone out and meet them for lunch, or sit down and actually talk about your product. A lot of times, people aren't sure how to invite people, or what to say. So if I'm meeting you, and I think you'd be a great client, and I want to tell you that, and I want to tell you about my product, I might feel awkward if I don't know how to say that without being pushy. If I don't know how to say that without making you uncomfortable. That's basically what awkwardness is. And so the thing about awkwardness, when you feel it, you want to freeze. You don't know what to say, you don't know what to do, so you just stay in that stasis, stay in that moment, and the awkwardness just builds and builds and builds. Yeah, absolutely. Debbie's right in the comments. It's a lack of confidence. When you don't know what to do, don't know what to say, don't know how to act. Now, I focus on body language, but I also do a lot of work with people on their sales conversations. How to get people from where they are to the next step in the sales funnel, to the next step, to where eventually they buy. And I specialize in helping people to do that as fast as possible. My premier program is actually my cold to sold coaching program, where I teach my clients how to take a lead from cold to sold. And I teach them how to do it in 2 seconds or less. And that's a whole nother conversation. Feel free to ask me about that later. But the reason it's so important to be able to take someone from cold to sold is most people don't know how to do that. We're frozen up in awkwardness. We don't know what to say, what to do. And when we see the other person is feeling awkward, we feel even more awkward. It just builds and grows. So I'm going to give you a quick tip for dealing with awkwardness. The best way to deal with awkwardness is to pretend it doesn't feel awkward. Usually when you're feeling awkward, there's something you want to say, or there's something you think is going on, but you're not able to say it. You don't know what to say next. You don't know how you're feeling. So, for example, if I am talking to, let's call him Frank. I'm talking to Frank. I want to invite Frank to work with me, but I'm not sure how Frank is going to react. I don't want it to be awkward. So I have a choice. I can either freeze up and not say anything and just let the small talk continue awkwardly and never actually invite him to work with me. Or I can tell myself, okay, I'm feeling awkward. What is it that I want? I want to ask Frank to work with me. All right. And then I'll turn to Frank and I'll say, Frank, I think you'd be a great client. Would you be interested in learning more about how you could work with me? And it's not perfect. Maybe it's not ideal, but the awkwardness is gone. Awkwardness is only there as long as you believe it's there. And I have found the biggest thing that gets rid of awkwardness is to do the thing you're afraid of doing. If you're feeling awkward, maybe you're up on stage about to give a speech, whether it's 60 seconds or 60 minutes. If you're feeling awkward, it's because there's something you want to do, but you're afraid to do it. And the best way to get over that awkwardness is to do it. And some of you are like, Arby, your advice sucks. And I know, I felt that way too. When I was starting out in sales, I was so frustrated because I didn't know what to say. I didn't know how to get people from where they were to where I wanted them to be. But there are a lot of strategies I could give you. There are a lot of tips. There are a lot of things you can do. But the best one that you can practice on your own is just to do it. If you're talking to someone, I know, right? Debbie's like, no, I don't want to be direct. You have to be direct because beating around the bush isn't going to work for you. It isn't going to work for them. If you are feeling, maybe you're in a sales pitch and you're telling someone about your product and it starts to get awkward and you think, okay, all of a sudden it feels like they're not interested anymore. It feels like this isn't the product for them. I can either internalize that and not say anything about it and let the awkwardness build, or I can come out and say, I'm getting the feeling that you're not quite, that this isn't quite the right product for you. Would you agree? I'm getting the feeling you're feeling hesitant about this. Do you want to tell me about that? When you voice what's going on, when you name the hesitance, when you name the awkwardness, when you go out and say the things you want to say but are afraid to say, that is what gives you the most power in the conversation. Because fear is only there to hold you back. Awkwardness is just another form of fear, and it's there to hold you back. So don't listen to it. Don't give in. Be kind, be comfortable, be confident, and be direct. So if you have any questions or comments, I've got a coaching call coming up in just a couple minutes. But if you have any questions, I would love to hear from you. I'm always here to help. Thank you, everyone. See you later.